As we continue on with our COVID update for Northeast Oklahoma, we're now joined by 1st District Congressman Kevin Hern. Congressman, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it.
It's good being with you, Royal.
Let's just cover a couple of topics to start with. First one is the stimulus package that was passed, the second stimulus package that was passed last week. Do you think now the small business guy is going to have better access to that available fund?
I do. We saw the first package of $349 billion, had about 1.6 million loans made, a little over $200,000 average loan value. What we're seeing in this second package is re-upping, if you will, of the PPP funds, is that the average loan size is under 100,000. So you're seeing a lot more smaller organizations, smaller businesses that are taking advantage of it. Perhaps some that were completely closed down that are now anticipating being able to open back up, that are really re-engaging, which is because of the smaller loan size, more people are able to get the money. So that's great news. We're not scheduled to go back next week. The Senate's going to start meeting, so it's our assumption that they're going to meet and look at the possibility of re-upping again for a third time the PPP monies.
That's a good idea, in your opinion?
Well, it's based on need. If the need is there, I think it's a good idea. It's a way to keep people employed so that when we can, as we start to open back up, if you think about the alternative right now is the governor is starting to open back up the state, and the various mayors around the state are sort of creating this rolling thunder. If businesses were to open or start ramping back up and didn't have their original employees, that means they would have to go out and hire, which would be extraordinarily difficult right now with the incentive that was put in place to add $600 extra per week, which is going to make it very difficult to get people back into the jobs. By paying people to stay in their jobs, they're already trained up for those jobs prior to the COVID-19 outbreak. This should actually turn our economy around very quickly as people start getting back out and going to restaurants and other places that are now back open for business.
So as a small business owner yourself, you're seeing this as a strong benefit to help kickstart the economy.
Well, I think it was actually, there are a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking ideas and thoughts are going to go into this. There are a lot of conversations around why didn't we just allow every business to lay everyone off, fund the unemployment insurance fund to a much higher level at the state level, take the federal dollars and put them there. Again, being able to pay people basically a working unemployment to keep people in their jobs, I think was pretty brilliant in and of itself, so that all the money spent, the goodwill spent by businesses over the years to train their employees and keeping them there is actually pretty brilliant when you want to crank back up the economy very quickly. The alternative, as we're seeing, is that we need to make sure these businesses actually get open, and there will be some that won't open. My fear has been all along that the number of bankruptcies would exceed the loss of life due to COVID-19, and so we have to be responsible as we open these businesses back up. Everybody needs to do their part. The customers that are going into the different location retail outlets around the state need to do their part in making sure they're protected. And then also the business owners need to make sure they're doing their part so that they keep the curve flattened and reduce the exposure and the possible spread of the virus more quickly than had they stayed sheltered in place.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the big business. Phillips 66 is in your district. What are the big firms telling you with Williams, Phillips 66, all of these bigger companies? What are they saying to you? Because they're struggling right at the moment because of oil prices.
Well, they are, and really the oil price is being driven by the fact that we have an abundance of oil in the United States. We're a net exporter. Really it's driven by the fact that people are not buying gasoline because they're staying at home. So they want the economies to open back up so people will get out and drive their cars and buy more gasoline, and therefore remove this glut of oil that we have in our storage tanks in Cushing and elsewhere around the country, and get our rigs back operating so that we can, they can pay their respective amounts of taxes to the states to help the states offset their budget loss. So it all kind of fits together in our what's called our United States economy. We have to get it opened back up.
So do you think the president is touting that he thinks within the next 6 months we'll be as strong as ever in the economy? Do you agree with that, being a small businessman, and you have kind of a sense of local economy, how strong we are in Oklahoma, because we were really rolling there for quite some time? You think it'll be 6 months? Think it'll be a year? I mean, I personally think it's going to be a year, but that's just me. I've been a small business owner in the past. It's tough to get things restarted again, to kick that generator back up to full throttle.
I think it'll be different. There'll be a lot less one-on-one contact. There'll be more delivery. I think other industries that were sort of on a trajectory of incremental growth will now probably be accelerating. When you're talking about takeout, when you're talking about drive-through service, you're talking about those kind of delivery services. I think you're going to see those kind of services extend to other type businesses, not just restaurants. I think you could possibly see that, in clothing stores or other retail outlets. I think there's going to be a lot of change in how we do business. I think it will all be determined based on how people feel secure. If they feel like the businesses are secure, safe, clean, sanitation practices are going well, I think we will recover more quickly than if not. And so I think it's going to, as it always is, it's going to be determined by the consumer, not by the business.
Well, the real estate industry touts location, location, location. I believe here it's recovery, recovery, recovery. And it's going to be interesting to see how this all maps out. I'm personally ready for it to open up because I like going out to eat.
Yeah.
Any last words you want to say to the folks that are watching?
Well, I just appreciate it, and I know as the mayors are struggling and the governor's struggling with decisions, that you have to make decisions as a leader. You're accountable for the health and the economy of your respective cities and municipalities in your state, and you're also responsible for, again, the safety. And so as we go forward, I think we all have a part in this, all the consumers, the businesses, the city leaders, the state leaders, and making sure that we do everything we can to balance safety and open the economy back up correctly. And we will be fine. This is the greatest thing about free market, free enterprise. If we do the right things and we do it appropriately, I believe in the resilience and the resistance of being kept down, that American people will prevail and the economies in the states in this country will prevail.
First District Congressman Kevin Hern, thank you for being with us today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much.